The LS fits everything. It makes awesome power, and I mean, let's face it, a lot of these classic cars, if you put 500 horsepower in it, and you want to really drive the car, you really don't need much more than that. I mean,
Yeah.
the chassis can't handle it. I mean, there's a certain point where too much is just useless.
Things start
In
bending.
some of these classic cars, I mean.
But now, if you got a 70 Camaro, it's got a 350 or a 396 in it.
Yeah.
You're going to swap to something like this to an LS motor. Do they make kits for that, or is that just because of the size of the motor and easier to swap?
That's one great thing about the LS line of engines is they have a huge aftermarket support system, from engine mounts to transmission swap mounts to headers to accessory drives. You name it, you can get it, which makes swapping
A lot easier.
very easy and kind of a lot more straightforward. Coyote stuff, there is stuff available, but it's not as mainstream as it is.
All right, let's take a look at that Chevy.
So this is actually my car. 1957 Chevy Bel Air. It's meant to be a patina car. Purchased it out of a private collection. It sat for nearly 35 years completely apart, 100% apart. There was not two things on the car. It was completely stripped. But what you see here is like factory paint. Most of the parts you're seeing are original. Like the seat is original 1957 Chevy seat. But what you see is not really what it is. It's a complete resto mod car. A lot of work's been done to it. So you got a shaved firewall. That's a 6-liter LS, fully built out. It should make 500, 550 at the crank. We just did 6 week with it, drag and drive event. We averaged for the week 12:55 average, and our fastest time to date is 12:35 at 111.
And you don't plan on doing paint job? It's going to be just a resto mod, but with the patina?
Yeah, so we might come back in and add some red paint to certain spots just to make it look a little bit better. But we are going to keep it factory paint as you see it for the most part.
It's a lot easier that way.
Yeah, I mean the whole idea with this entire car build is to have something I can drive every day.
I see.
So I need to be able to, if I got to go pick up my little girl at school, I got to be able to sit in the pickup line for 20 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Got to be able to park it in a parking lot wherever I need to go.
And are these drag radius on here too?
Yeah, that's a 325 50-15 drag radial.
Are they taking the place of actual slicks, the drag radials?
Yeah. Yep.
And why is that? They grab as well, or?
So they're DOT rated, so you can drive them on the street.
Yeah.
Slicks, you're not legally supposed to drive them on the street, but they're just a really soft compound. You're not going to get great mileage out of them, maybe 5,000-6,000 miles, but you have to pay to play. But yeah, it's been 100% rebuilt. I mean the leaf springs in the rear have been moved in with what they call a pocket kit. It's got Calvert Racing mono springs and Calvert traction bars and their shocks, 9-inch Ford, all the good stuff. Yeah.
But it is mainly now younger people who are buying these. When I say younger, the 40 to 55-year-old who wants the resto mod rather than the original, because of the reasons you mentioned, where people expect the car to look like an old car but drive like a new car and have the reliability.
We're seeing a transition in the hot rodding world. It used to be primarily 60, 70, 80-year-old fellas that were interested in this type of thing, and that was most of our clientele. what we're seeing now is successful 40, 50-year-old guys who have done well for themselves. They want stuff like this. They love old cars, but they're used to modern cars.
Right.
So it needs to be turnkey, highway driving, 500 plus horsepower, AC, needs to do everything.
And I noticed if you look at the auctions of Barrett Jackson and Mecum, that the resto mod cars are bringing as much or more than a completely restored to stock condition car.
Yeah,
and
so,
even in the Corvette world.
Younger fellas, anybody 50 and younger, a factory 69 Camaro isn't going to do nothing for us.
Yeah.
A small block, a factory small block. I mean, factory cars nowadays are so fast.
Yeah.
So you really got to have some horsepower to have some excitement.
And to impress people, yeah.
Yeah. So.
All right, once again, thank you very much.
Awesome, buddy.
I appreciate it. I'll stop by again.